Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Blue Raven C. Hoovener, creator behind BCH Comix, and thank you for joining me for this first video of the new year. What can we say about 2021 aside from it sucked? Uh, but in spite of that, there were some pretty good parts of it. I started school again for the first time since 2013? No, 2012. God. So that was huge for me. But with that extra workload, my webcomic, The Year of Reflection, did have to take a bit of a hiatus. But that being said, it still wasn't a slow art year, as my 2021 retrospective showed. Before I dig into more detail about that, be sure to hit the like button at the bottom. It makes me feel good, but also helps get these videos seen by more people. Now, I haven't done one of these in some time, and at least not since I've had BCH Comix, out there as a thing. So what I'm going to do now is break down a list of all of the published works that I've done this year, either solo or as part of a submission process or compilation with other creators. So something big happened in 2021 that stirred up a lot of excitement in the zine community. Arizona's own Wasted Ink Zine distro reopened its doors and reached out to the zine community offering to sell their works. That brings me to my first zine of 2021. Jumping off of the events of track 2 of The Year of Reflection, Jake in a World of Musicians follows a Jake-centric story as he gets coffee with the plucky music reporter Scribbles, and some light conversation leads to Jake unloading a lifetime's worth of hang-ups, being the only non-musician surrounded by music makers. All fun and meant for comedic effect, this zine is a little bit comic, a little bit perzine, and shines a focus on some of the baggage holding Jake down. That may not have been fully highlighted in It's Just Another Day. Lord knows Jake had enough on his plate in that story. This zine debuted at Wasted Ink, and you can grab your own copy there, or from my website, bchcomics.com. While the last couple of years have been a knockdown, drag-out mess, the perseverance of the indie community has known no equal. Zine fests have still gone strong, and the rise of virtual zine fests have allowed folks to attend fests in some fashion or another that they normally wouldn't. Lone Star Zine Fest is a prime example and personified in this second zine, the Lone Star Zine Fest Comp Zine. The Comp Zine is a sight to behold, full color and featuring a wide array of content. And this is a big one for me, because it was the first outing of the Green and the Rider since 2020's Grub Vom Krampus. This one gives a subtle nod to some of the Rider's past adventures, while setting up some slight world building as well. And Lone Star Zine Fest was the gift that just kept on giving. A how-to panel put on by the Austin Batcave there really got the creative juices flowing and led to the creation of this next zine. At that point, about a year into the pandemic, and getting somewhat tired of the day-to-day drudgery, Jake, in It's Been One Hell of a amount of time, features Jake laugh-crying about how off time has felt, and the importance of looking after each other, and a message of condolence to those who have lost loved ones. And, as a little bonus, unfold it, and you get a classic Nicodemus flyer. I usually threw this in as a freebie with orders from Jake and Spaceman's garbage disposal on bchcomics.com. Ugh. One of the best things to come out of the pandemic was coin-operated press. They put out beautiful work on differing topics, as the next few zines will show. First up, we've got the Relationship Zine. Again, like I said about coin-operated press, beautiful, full color, just well put together work. And this one in particular is awesome because it features comics, art, poetry, stories, all about love in its varying forms. I love it too because my submission features kind of a time span of little boy Jake all the way up to adult Jake. The next coin-operated press release was very exciting for me because I've never been in an annual before. And at that point, coin-operated press had existed for a year, from March 20th of 2020 all the way to March 21st of 2021. And that is the annual, and it shows all of the different covers that are in here. There's a few I was in, actually. Like in 2020, I was in there it is, the Festival Zine. There's the Relationship Zine I just talked about. And then this annual reprinted the submission I did for the Relationship Zine. And finally, on the coin-operated press front from 2021, we have a zine about zines, which is always a fun topic to talk about, and one I haven't talked about in zine form since, I believe, 2019's Midwest Perzine Fest comp zine. And it's cool because I used some digital layout techniques I learned in my recent digital layout class to just talk about my journey pretty much since 2019 of becoming a zinester. And it's very accurately titled. My one regret is not starting sooner, because that could not be more true. Fast forward to Halloween time, when everything that creeps and crawls is stepping out and looking to make its presence known. Well, luckily for you, you have got a protector. In the pages of Lescinda Productions' collab zine, Webs Across the Campfire, the Greenland Rider returns in an untraditional ghost story in a therapist's office. This zine features some awesome writing and stellar art. It should be a must-have for fans of Hallowzines and just eerie themes in general. Ah! Oh, geez, late 2021. I thought we were done with these. That brings us to the next zine. Jake, the COVID years, gathers all the COVID-related comics I've done from 2020 to 2021, as well as some tongue-in-cheek observations and notes I've taken as a frontline worker. In all honesty, I think this is a zine I will revisit, and either make a new installment or a supercharged version, because there's a lot in here, but there's just so much more that can be added, especially since we are going into now year 3 of this. And we come full circle. I started this video talking about how great the Wasted Ink Zine distro is, and that opinion hasn't changed. Leading us into our next zine, the Phoenix Zine Fest 2021 Vendor Omnibus. Got the pleasure of virtually selling some work at the Phoenix Zine Fest, and it was another great virtual convention. They had awesome panels, awesome content, and it was a lot of fun. And just, little things like this always just add that extra punch, And this one was extra special for me as well, because another classic Nicodemus and Matches character was the Headless Harley Rider. And I've wanted to do something with that character for some time, and this is the first time his actually ever been drawn. Yes, I did a little mock-up cover, kind of like those Life with Archie comics when they first did the before they actually did the Afterlife with Archie comics, but they had it was like Life with Archie comic cover, but there was just zombies everywhere. Yeah, that was kind of what the inspiration I had in mind for that. And I do believe that concludes my list of publications from 2021. As you saw, it was an eventful year and a whole lot of fun. Really broke some ground on some new ideas that I wanted to explore, a lot of them for some time. And it was an honor to work with, such amazing creators and just new opportunities that normally wouldn't be able to. So with that... Huh. What is this? Well, hello. I actually do have one more thing to show you. Now, this isn't a publication per se because I paid for it, I guess. But recently, Alterna Comics did a Kickstarter for, you know, some of their new projects they want to put out, and one of the options was doing a little ad in one of the comics. So, in this issue of Red Koi, which is issue 5, going in a little bit, you will find an ad featuring some of my characters. And if you've read any of my comics, there's little Easter eggs all over the place in this ad. So so if you get the chance, go out and snag yourself a copy. A lot of you know Alterna Comics because they really kick things up a notch by bringing back newsprint, which I don't know of any comic creators or publishing houses that do that other than them, which I love it. I love the style, and I did that actually for my first two. It's Just Another Day comics, and I hope to do that for more. So with that, it's truly the end of the video. I appreciate you joining me and checking out these publications, and I'm going to have all the links to the things I mentioned in the comments down below, so be sure to show a lot of these zinesters and publishing houses some love as well. You know, there's some good people amongst them. And with that, again, Happy New Year. May 2022 bring us all some good things and some much relief in areas where it's needed. I've been Blue Raven Hoovener, and I still am. Cheers.